Wednesday's news moto, brought to you by Riel. In this News on Two Wheels, you get to watch footage of a ride in Cambodia while I update you on the news of the week. Today's ride is a guest ride from Out Your Shell. It's the channel of Andy who, along with his partner Isa, moved to Siem Reap earlier this year. Since arriving, he has not stopped. This man is a busyness machine, doing so many different things. But I would like to make a quick mention of one of the very important things he's been doing, and that's the mental health meetups that he has established every Friday. Anyone is welcome to go along and either listen or share, and this sense of community is a wonderful thing for people who are struggling and need a bit of support, or maybe even just someone to talk to. There is a definite need for this kind of thing, and it's wonderful that Ginge has stepped up with this. Thank you so much for the video, and thanks for doing what you're doing in the community. At For Real, we donate all of the money we earn from YouTube to charities in Cambodia. Here is an updated total of the amounts that we've raised and donated so far. We are very pleased that we can do this, and it's made possible because you are out there watching our videos. Please don't forget to like, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. Hopefully we can keep growing the channel and do even more good in Cambodia. Okay, let's get into the news. It's Wednesday the 20th of September, and today we look at a new arrival option that is under discussion. We find out why drums were being beaten all over the kingdom at 7 a.m. this morning, and we check in on the annual garment workers' salary negotiations, then finish up with lots of good news. Officials of the General Department of Immigration, the Ministry of Health, and the General Department of Customs and Excise of Cambodia have discussed the possibility of a CAM arrival card, which would combine immigration, health, and customs documents into one form. The establishment of the CAM arrival card system would make it easier for foreign guests who come to Cambodia to enter information before departure by filling in the same card. However, the Director-General of Immigration requested a study on a number of additional points, as well as challenges that are required by the Ministry of Health and the General Department of Customs and Excise of Cambodia regarding the CAM arrival system. It has been referred to leadership to decide on whether the card should go ahead, and if so, when it should be implemented. The Ministry of Health has reissued its warning that dengue fever will be on the rise and has asked people to be vigilant and implement measures to prevent a large-scale outbreak of the disease in the community. The warning was issued as Cambodia has entered the year in the 5 to 6 year cycle of the disease when a large outbreak occurs in the community as the population's immune response has weakened in previous years. The ministry on Thursday issued the warning that this disease is transmitted by tiger mosquitoes to people of all ages, adding that the insects lay eggs in still water, especially in old car tyres and water storage containers. Symptoms of dengue usually begin 4 to 10 days after infection and last for 2 to 7 days. They may include a high fever of 40 degrees Celsius, severe headache, pain behind the eyes, muscle and joint pains, nausea, vomiting, swollen glands, and it usually finishes off with a lovely rash. The Ministry of Health has 5 principles to help reduce the risk of dengue. The first is to destroy any mosquito larvae that you find and get rid of standing water where they can breed. Construction site owners should clear their sites of potential breeding grounds as well. Car tyre businesses must store tyres in such a way that they can't collect water. You should clear the land around your house, wear long clothes, and use a mosquito net when you're sleeping. Also, go to the hospital if you have symptoms of dengue. So far this year, the highest number of dengue cases were in Phnom Penh and in Kandal, Tabong Khmum, Bantay Mianche, and Siem Reap provinces. Also in Kandal province, our next story is about garment worker wages. In the second half of each year, there is always a round of discussions to decide on the minimum wage for the coming year. The 2023 round of wage bargaining for textile workers has commenced. The workers' representatives are calling for a monthly wage of $213, and the employers are starting their negotiations at $201.50 per month. This will likely go back and forth over the coming weeks and months until the 2024 figure is settled upon. It will be somewhere between those two amounts, probably towards the lower end. The difference each year is such a small amount, but it makes a huge difference to the workers. Even an extra $1 or $2 each month is important. Something else that is important and has just been recognised for its importance is Koh Ker Temple in Pravihir province. It has just received a UNESCO listing, and Prime Minister Hun Manet has called for nationwide celebrations to occur today, We have already heard drums being beaten to mark the occasion at 7 a.m. this morning. Koh Ker is a 10th century temple complex and former capital of the Khmer Empire. It's situated between Siem Reap and the border with Thailand. The main structure is a stepped pyramid-style temple. It takes about 2 hours to get there from Siem Reap, and it's definitely a place that we would like to visit at some point in the future. The densely forested site contains a total of 169 archaeological remains, including 76 temples, as well as civil structures, ponds, dikes, and ancient roads. It is located centrally between 3 other Cambodian World Heritage Sites, Pravahia, Angkor, and Sembor Pre Cook. It's a jungle-filled region, and only about 24 of the discovered monuments can actually be visited by tourists because the rest of them are hidden in the forest, and the whole area has not been fully demined. Speaking of demining, the Cambodia Mine Action Centre, the CMAC, is set to clear more than 500 hectares of community forest land for use by people in Siem Reap Province's Srei Snam district. The CMAC will clear 532 hectares of land in the district using 4 teams, each having 10 members, with completion of the operation scheduled for the end of 2024. The demining group has already cleared 25% of the land. The cleared land will be made available for development as a tourist destination. The land used to be an army base and mines were used to defend the camp. Over the years, the landmines and explosive remnants of war have caused many casualties. In a change of pace now, a man has been arrested for smuggling 20,000 catfish. The notorious catfish smuggler was caught red-handed, or should that be wet-handed, with around 20,000 young catfish. The fish were taken from the house of a Vietnamese man who lived in Pat Sanday village in Kampong Tom province. The young fish were handed over to Kampong Svei Fisheries Administration Sangkat to proceed with legal procedures. In some unrelated but still very fishy business, a woman who murdered a fortune teller in Phnom Penh has been arrested. The woman allegedly killed the fortune teller by suffocating them with a pillow. She then stole jewellery before fleeing the scene of the crime. An urgent warning has been issued to Krache residents as the Mekong's waters rise. The water level will continue to rise, and people living close to the river have been told to pack their important materials and documents into a safe, dry place and prepare an emergency kit including food and water. Let's hope all the families living in this area get through this year's flooding season safely. Just like the Mekong, the good news is flowing this week. An NGO called the River Ocean Cleanup, or ROC, has pledged to achieve garbage-free rivers in Phnom Penh by 2028. A team of more than 100 volunteers is actively clearing solid waste from rivers in Phnom Penh, such as the Tonle Basak, the Tonle Sap and the Mekong. They are still concerned about the river cleanup plan in Phnom Penh, and they called on the private sector to help with their efforts. Another female leopard is set to be released into the forest of Angkor Park. The cat has already been transported from the Phnom Tamau Wildlife Rescue Centre to the archaeological park, and there are plans to release her soon. Maybe she can get to work sorting out those naughty monkeys. Lots of different animals have already been released into the park, including gibbons, langurs, civets, otters and hornbills. Moving on to our final good news story for this week, it relates to school dropout rates. More than 178,000 students will sit for their final school exams across the country, and that's an increase of over 3,000 compared to last year, thanks to decreasing dropout rates. The lower dropout rate, coupled with high enrolment, and parents' understanding on the importance of education has spurred the increase of students sitting for the diploma exams next month. There are plans to increase the number of junior high schools and high schools in each district to cope with the increasing number of students enrolled in the primary schools currently. This is all great news for the Kingdom. And on that wonderfully positive note, that's the end of this week's news. You're now up to date with all of the most important events in the Kingdom. In case you missed it, I put out a video on Sunday of my second visit to a temple called Bapuon, and I went back after my first visit in 2020 to see if I had the guts to climb up to the top. If you haven't watched that video, I'll leave a link to it here. Thank you so much for watching today. Take care, have a great week, and we'll see you very soon.